A lot of the manufactured home horror stories that you're seeing here on TikTok, on YouTube, in person, whatever, they have a lot to do with things that should have been caught during the inspection period that were either missed or things that popped up like a little while later. So I'm going to show you something that is within our contract. Now we're going with Champion Homes, but I believe Clayton Homes has a similar clause in their contract that this should cover you for things like that that can happen along the way. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. This part right here, and you can pause if you want to read the whole thing, but it says all cosmetic items must be reported within 10 business days of home completion. This would include scratches, cuts, dents, like pretty much anything that we find that's wrong with the home before we move in. After the home is completed by Champion Home Center, the buyer will perform a walk-through inspection and report in writing to the address, blah, blah, blah. Verbal requests will not be accepted, so I can't just like call them up and complain. I need to put it in writing. And then if we decided to just start fixing stuff and expect a reimbursement, that's not going to happen because it says right here, if it wasn't already approved by the manufacturer for us to just fix it ourselves, you're not getting that reimbursement. Okay, now this is super, super important because we did pay extra for drywall and they did warn us about this. Clayton Homes warned us as well. As we're getting full drywall within the home, drywall has a tendency to crack during transportation as the home settles on the new foundation. So like they're transporting this home and then they're setting it on the foundation. And so don't be surprised if like, you get cracks within the walls or whatever. But here's the important part. Champion Home Center will repair the initial cracks as part of our interior trim out service if contracted to do so one time. Additional cracks that appear after, that's our responsibility. We suggest allowing the foundation to settle through the changes of the seasons before doing subsequent repair. Okay, why is that so important? Because if I just see one little crack in the drywall like a month after moving in and I call them out to fix that one crack, but then 3 months later when the seasons change, I find 5 more cracks and then I call them out to fix it, they're not going to fix it because it says right there in the contract, you had your one and done. So what I need to do is I need to just deal with the cracks that I find in the early days and then wait for the changing of the seasons. And then when we get close to that 1 year warranty period, call them out for that one-time fix where they can fix all of the cracks. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying that people on here that have these nightmare stories about Clayton Homes or Champion or any manufacturer or home company not fixing what they need to fix. Like I totally believe those stories, but I also believe you really need to read this fine print. I also plan on just paying the $500 out of pocket to have like a third party inspector come with us for that final walkthrough inspection. And I'm like super OCD, attention to detail. If you've been following this series, you already know that. And when we do that final walkthrough, like you better believe I'll be recording the whole thing. I will be probably like typing into my phone everything that I'm finding, taking pictures of everything, and then translating that into an email because it says it needs to be in writing to make sure there are no surprises. And then guess what? After that walkthrough is done and I found all of the flaws that I want fixed, if I find more flaws later, like that's on me. I should have found that during the walkthrough inspection. So I feel good about our decision. I also feel like because we trust the dealership and the salesperson that we're going through immensely, I'm just not freaking out the way people say I should be freaking out right now. Now, if y'all see me hop on here in a year from now and I'm saying otherwise, then you can tell me that you told me so. But for now, I feel like we are making a great decision.